friends, it's time for us to look at your money predictions for 2025. So we're going to ask Spirit what you can expect regarding money coming in, money going out, any advice for how to spend your money, how to make your money, anything related to money. We're going to tackle that in this reading. And as always, I am setting the intention that this is for my YouTube subscribers. So if you are not already subscribed, make sure that you do subscribe so that the readings are channeling your energy as best as possible. But let's take a look at what your themes overall are going to be for money in 2025. Thank you, Spirit. What is the overall theme for money for 2025 for my YouTube subscribers? The overall theme for money in 2025 for my YouTube subscribers. The overall theme for money for my YouTube subscribers. Okay. All right. So what I'm getting so far, I see the Two of Crystals and the Wheel of Fortune coming out. So what this is telling me is that you are, I think, being choosier about how you spend your money. Like with the Two of Crystals, this is somebody who sometimes can be like indecisive. I don't think it's that. I think it's more that like you are actually taking the time to really weigh whether you want to spend money on something. So I feel like maybe there's times in the past where you've been a little bit more impulsive with how you've spent your money. In 2025, it seems like you're being a little bit choosier about how you spend your money. I feel like this actually plays out in many different ways. I think that this is actually, regarding both like who you want to give your money to, right? So this might be like, are you spending money with certain businesses or not, like that align with you or don't? Okay, like I think in the past you might have just like been kind of blind to that and didn't really care, and now you're like, no, actually, like I want to know, like you're spending money with companies that your values align with more, or choosing to not spend your money with companies where your values don't align. Okay, but it's also about like really being choosier about just where your money is going. It's not necessarily that you're being frugal or like that it's not coming from a place of lack. I think it's more coming from like it's just from value. It seems like that's what's coming through. It seems like it's like, will future me be glad that I spent this money? Okay. And I think that's what you're thinking about. Like, yeah, the future you. I also do love that the Wheel of Fortune came out. So like literally fortune, there's not really other cards in the deck that would say a word related to money. So fortune, that's good. The Wheel of Fortune is also the Jupiter card, and Jupiter is going to be transiting into Cancer in 2025. It is like on June 9th, I want to say. It'll be there all the way, like it's in there for about 12 months, so like into 2026. But Jupiter in Cancer is actually a really great placement regarding money and finances. So like that's a really great transit, I should say, for money and finances. So that can be really good. It can be very like lucky. It can bring about a lot of financial abundance. Jupiter enjoys being in Cancer, so that could be really good. But I also see like there's gonna be some, with the Wheel of Fortune, it's like sometimes there's gonna be a little bit of like ups and downs as well. So I think that and like it will all balance out with the Two of Crystals. So I think another kind of message or theme here is when you feel like maybe money is tighter for some reason, like maybe you get a really big bill and you're not used to that or something, or if your income is like not like if you're not on a salary, right? If your income is more like what's the word I'm looking for? It's like my income, like I don't know exactly how much I'm gonna make every month because it's like it changes, right? But if your income isn't set, so maybe there's some months that are better than others. It's like, okay, on the times where like things feel a little bit tighter, that's temporary. But also when things seem like they're like booming for you, like maybe like you had a bill get wiped off, or if you are on a set income, or maybe you got a huge amount of money coming in if you are on a changing income, then don't just like skip to that lifestyle. Okay, it seems like things are kind of like a little bit up and down in 2025. Hopefully that makes sense. By the way, if you ever want a personal reading about career and money, I do have that as an option at my stan.store. I will put the link to that in the description of this video, but you can always get a personal reading. But let's take a look at what you need to know about money coming in 2025. Thank you, Spirit. What do you need to know about money coming in? I think the word I was looking for was variable income. Variable income. Okay. Money coming in 2025 for my YouTube subscribers. Money coming in for my YouTube subscribers. Money coming in. Money coming in for my YouTube subscribers. Money coming in for my YouTube subscribers. Money coming in for my YouTube subscribers. Okay. Money coming in. Money coming in. Anything else? Whoop, grab it. Okay. Is there, I feel like there's maybe one more thing that they want to say. Money coming in. There it is. Okay. Okay. Okay, got it. Okay, thank you. Okay, so at the beginning, yeah, I feel like this is kind of earlier in the year. I would say maybe in the first, it does seem like it's in the first half of the year, but I can't tell exactly if it's like the first quarter or the second quarter, but something doesn't pan out for you. Maybe you were expecting a boost in your money somehow, like, I'm having an insane deja vu. That's so weird. That does not normally happen to me in readings. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going, but I'll probably keep this in the video. Like, okay, that is so strange. Okay. With the Five of Cups, it just seems like something is like a little bit disappointing about money coming in. So like maybe you thought you were going to get a bigger tax refund. Maybe you thought you were going to get a promotion with more money. Maybe you thought that it's like a big sale was going to come through that you were going to get paid for, or a gig or whatever, right? It doesn't seem like it comes. And I feel like then there's a moment where you're like clinging on to something. But I feel like actually this is kind of to show you that like maybe this thing, like where you're getting your money from, is maybe not as aligned with you as much anymore. And I see that like if you maybe make some changes, that then you end up becoming so much more abundant. So maybe you've actually been staying in a job for a lot longer than you should have. I'll actually do a whole nother reading on career. And maybe it's time for a change. Maybe you've been like counting on a client or something like that, and it's like those clients just aren't working. Maybe you're it's like you're kind of keeping yourself in a box is what I'm getting, and like that is limiting you. And when you actually allow yourself to like be a little bit like you're trying new things, then the money is so much more comfortable. And ultimately I do see the money being more comfortable, and it does actually make sense. Like I was just saying, it seems like that happens in the first half of the year. And now then I'm remembering, like, of course, yeah, Jupiter then moves into Cancer in the beginning of June. That is, almost the second half of the year. So maybe then like when that placement happens, then it just is more, things are going better for you, because I'm seeing the Queen of Stars and the Emperor, also the Hermit. It does seem like with money coming in, some of it might be coming from people older than you. Maybe you actually get an unexpected, some unexpected money, like an inheritance, a really big gift, something like that. It seems like it comes really easy and unexpectedly. But it just seems like you're very comfortable. And it also seems like, though, at the same time, you did take a lot of responsibility for your money coming in. So like some of it just like gets showered on you. And some of it is because you are like, no, I'm changing how, like, I'm changing this. I know what I deserve. I'm getting more money. And yeah. And then because of that energy that you put forth, and because you're not holding on to these things that aren't for you anymore, and you're not getting too caught up in the disappointment of things. And I think also because of the way that you're treating money with the Two of Crystals, how I said about like spending money in a way that's aligned with your values, that seems like that's helping you manifest regarding money with the Magician coming out. It's almost like you start to learn more. With the Hermit too, you recognize that money is energy. And so when money comes to you, then I feel like maybe something that would be really good for you to do is actually be more grateful for the blessings that do come in. So every single time that you get paid, that you're literally like, thank you. And like, thank you to the universe in a way. Because I feel like maybe there's part of you that's actually kind of like taking a little bit of money for granted. Okay, let's take a look and see what you need to know about money going out, whether that's by choice or necessity, just anything that you need to know about money going out. Thank you, Spirit. What do my YouTube subscribers need to know about money going out? What do my YouTube subscribers need to know about money going out? I'm still so curious about that deja vu. Like, okay. Anything else for money going out? Or like warnings or suggestions? Okay. Okay, so I do see with the King of Stars and the Devil, all right, there's a lot of Capricorn energy here. I feel like it's like some things you just are going to be required to spend money on, right? Like whether you like it or not, sometimes you're just attached to things like you got to pay your bills, right? But I think there is an energy of like, are you just, because especially the way the King of Stars fell out, it wasn't quite straight. And so it's just making me think like, are you sometimes being a little bit careless and being like, yeah, I just have to spend that, but you haven't actually really thought through like for some reason car insurance is coming up as an example. Like, are you paying like way more in your car insurance than you need to be because you're just being like, that's just how much it is, and you've just been kind of like too careless to like look around and see if there's like a better quote that you could get or something like that. There might be other examples of that, like things that are like obviously set costs, but that you could possibly not have to be paying quite as much. Like, yeah, see if there's like a savings there, there's some sort of savings, it seems like. I also feel like you are supposed to learn more about not just spending for the sake of spending. I feel like maybe some of you, especially I'm seeing with the Three of Crystals on the bottom of the deck, that maybe some of you are spending money or have been in the habit of spending money when almost as like a coping mechanism. Like when you're feeling down, when you're feeling, it's like the dopamine hit of it. And I feel like that is something to try to break free from and be more aware of, and and not really do that as much this year. And instead like spend money because you're choosing to, and not because your trauma is telling you to, essentially. That you're spending money on things that your future self will thank you for, like I said before. Yeah, I also see with the Fool card here now too, it's like spending money maybe on things that are like for new experiences, new opportunities, travel. Okay, that can be, those are probably good ways to spend money, as long as you're of course like being mindful, right? You don't want to spend more than you have, don't live outside your means necessarily, but I do get the sense that like also with the Wheel of Fortune, this can also indicate travel. So it does seem like travel is a good place to spend money. Anything else for spending money? Any advice for spending money for 2025? Okay, love this. It's really so much with what I was saying before, so it's just really good confirmation, and then that probably means that we can basically wrap this up here. But with the Judgment card and the Lovers card, it's really like making sure that what you're spending on, first of all, that you're using your discernment, so maybe you're like taking a beat before you just like are impulsively spending, and that it actually feels very aligned, and then it's not just like one part of you that wants to buy something. It's kind of like your mind, body, and spirit all aligned are like, yeah, like this is where we should spend our money. This is how we should spend our money. The other thing with the Judgment card coming out, it is Pluto. And I had said, like we had the Capricorn card before, Pluto is now in Aquarius. It was in Capricorn for 16 years. Pluto in Capricorn was a lot about capitalism. Pluto in Aquarius is very much about the revolution. So it's also like maybe you're learning that more. You're starting to practice things in a different way. And yeah, maybe not wanting to uphold systems. And so like that's something to just be aware of. I feel like also the way the king had come out too, it's maybe like, yeah, we're kind of taking down the patriarchy, we're taking down those like old structures that we don't want to exist in anymore. And that's part of how you're spending too. Like you're not spending just to like make the billionaires richer. Obviously sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right? But I feel like there's more choice here. You're more discerning, and ultimately that's going to help you feel more aligned. Yeah, I think that's it, but I don't know. Maybe there's one. Is there one more message? Just with the Hangman on the bottom of the deck, it's literally about not being impulsive, okay? And that brings us back to the Two of Crystals and the Wheel of Fortune. We're not doing impulsive spending in 2025, okay? So if you have a lot of money, like make sure you're putting some money into savings and things like that, so that you're just prepared for anything that might come your way. That seems to be important in 2025. As well. Okay, so I hope that helps, and we will be back soon with a career reading for 2025.